Salut mes little baguettes, welcome to l'Académie Équilibre, and this is the third and the last part of les pronoms personnels, where we're going to be covering pronom tonique and le pronom sujet. So let's begin. So first off, we have pronom tonique, okay, that is also known as disjunctive pronoun in English. Alright, now what is the format for it? That is, what will be your sentence structure, okay? So whenever you have preposition plus a person, we use pronom tonique. Here it can be any preposition, right? And then you'll have a person after it. Before we come to the formation, you need to know what do we replace it with, right? Because when we're talking about pronoun y and en, in the name itself, you had the thing that you were replacing it with, right? But in pronom tonique, there are different forms for different subjects. Okay, so for that, you'll need to know the table. This is like COD and COI, where you have forms according to your subject. Okay, this is also pretty easy. So what are the forms of it? So for first person, it becomes moi. That is me. Alright, so if my name is given, right, Gauri, okay, so I'll refer to it as me. If we talk about you, it becomes toi, okay, that is you. Then comes the more used one, that is about he or one. So there you'd say lui. For she, we use elle, that is there is no change. Then we have nous, okay, which is about we. Then you have vous, and then you have and elle. Here, the most important that people generally forget is okay, that means them. That is about masculin pluriel and means them. This also means them, but here it is féminin pluriel. Alright, so lui, elle and elle, they are pretty important. Then moi, toi, nous, vous, it's pretty simple. Okay, because nothing really changes that much. Now, I told you the format was preposition plus person. Someone's name is given, right? When we talk about person, directly subject would not be given to you. A person's name might be given to you. That is, for example, I talk about Paul. Okay, so you can say I talk about him, right? Or someone's designation might be given. That is, I've heard a lot about this, comedian. That is a position, right? A designation of a person. Then you might have relation. Relation as in my brother, my sister, your aunt, okay, his friend. Okay, so all of these words are talking about your relationship with someone. So for instance, if I say she is proud of her sister, okay, so you can say she is proud of her. Or I think a lot of my friend. Depending on the gender of your friend, I think a lot about him or her. Basically, whatever relations there are, right? Grandparents, mother, father, uncle, aunt. These are some of your examples, common ones. Okay, now coming to the actual replacement. That is, how do we actually change the sentence? Now here the preposition chez is used a lot. That means at someone's place, right? So chez and whatever person's name it is. So, je vais chez Paul. Okay, now I want to replace Paul. Again and again, I don't want to say his name. So Paul is masculin singular and it is third person singular. So I'll replace it with lui. Now if you actually look at this sentence, there's a very fascinating observation. Right, first thing is that our preposition is staying in the sentence. That is, chez is still there. Okay. So far what were we doing? We were also removing the preposition along with the noun that we were replacing. Okay. But here the preposition stays. Alright. Second very interesting thing about this is that generally where do we place our pronom? It goes before the verb. Okay. But here you'll find it after the preposition. That is lui, it is chez lui. So these are two unique things about pronom tonique. First is that the preposition stays. Second, that is only with pronom tonique, your pronoun will come after the preposition. Generally, when we talk about the rest of them, COD, COI, Y, EN, the pronoun always goes before the verb. That is the rule. Okay, but only and only with pronom tonique, it will come after your preposition. It will still make sense in this sentence. Okay, so it's easy to identify because it will make sense that way. Another indication of tonique is penser à quelqu'un. Okay, whenever you have this format, there also you're supposed to use tonique. Now you might be confused that I said that penser is used with pronoun y. Okay, but there you have to make this distinction that penser à quelque chose, that is thinking of something. Only then we use pronoun y. Okay, because pronoun y does not have to do with people. Only tonique has to do with quelqu'un, that is people. Okay, so when you think of someone, you'll use tonique. When you think of something, there we have pronoun y. Okay, because tonique only and only has to do with people. Okay, it will never talk about things. Here, who am I replacing? What is my person? It is ma sœur, that is my sister. Okay, and I'm thinking of her. Okay, that is preposition plus person. Okay, so I'll be replacing that as my noun. And here, sœur is feminine singulier, that is third person. So I'll replace it with elle. Je pense beaucoup à elle. We will take an example. Je suis fier de Sahaj, for instance. Okay, again, I'm talking about a person. Okay, fier de means to be proud of, right? That is again a person. So here I'm replacing Sahaj, that is feminine singulier. Again, I'll replace it with elle. So I get my answer as je suis fier d'elle. Apostrophe. Okay, because elle starts from a vowel. There's also an expression that comes a lot with pronoun tonique. Okay, especially if it is proud of a person. Okay, then we'll use tonique. Now, before we end tonique, okay, you need to be very clear on the fact that generally when we talk about our family, that is your preposition our plus someone, the rule is that we use COI. Okay, and that is true in every single case except penser à. Okay, only and only when it is penser à will we use tonique. Otherwise, whenever you have verb plus à plus quelqu'un, it will be COI. Okay, 99% of the time it will be COI. You don't have to think of tonique there. But when we talk about penser à quelqu'un, only then it is one case, one expression you can say where tonique is used. So then we come to our last pronom personnel, that is le pronom sujet. Now it sounds like it's something completely new, but it is the simplest pronom. Why? Because we already know them. The only new thing is the name that you might not know. Okay, in the name itself we're talking about the subject. Okay, that is the person, right? It's basically our subjects. What is it? That is je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, pluriel. Alright, we already know them. This is one of the most basic things that we learned in the beginning of French. Okay, and les pronoms sujets is nothing but the name for it. Now, obviously, when we talk about pronom sujet, this is also replacing something, right? Je is replacing the name of someone. Okay, tu, again, replacing the name of someone. I can call you by your name, I can also say you. Then il, again we're replacing the name of someone. Over and over I won't say Paul did this, Paul did that. I'll say he did this. Okay. Or Sonakshi went there, Sonakshi did this. Again elle, I can say she. Then nu is used for me and another person. Vous, you plural or formal, right? Il is they. So obviously it'll come in the beginning of the sentence and we're replacing it. So I have the sentence, Sonakshi fait son devoir. Sonakshi does her homework. Okay, instead of saying her name, I can also say elle fait son devoir. This is nothing but your pronom sujet. Very simple, very basic. Now we come to the rules of placing your pronom. Okay, that is, first rule is related to your tense. Okay, there are some situations where you might have more than one verb in your sentence. Okay, that is, one case is avoir in être plus past participle. That is generally done in passé composé. So in that case, where will your pronoun come? We say that the pronoun comes before the verb, right? But when you have two verbs, where does it go? In the first case, if it is avoir être plus past participle, it will always go with the conjugated avoir or être, that is your helping verb. So in this case, your pronoun goes with the first verb. Okay, so this is about tenses like passé composé. Then we have a situation where first verb is conjugated, okay, and second is your infinitive. That is, it is not conjugated like in future proche, right? In future proche, you have aller conjugated plus whatever verb it is in infinitive form. Okay, there whenever there are two verbs and second is not conjugated, that is it is in er, ir or re form, there your pronoun will always go with the second verb. Okay, it can be any situation, be it future prosh or be it normal present tense, okay, where you have two verbs that are being used. There, if infinitive is there, pronoun goes before the infinitive verb. If it is tenses like passé composé, where past participle is there and avoir être is there, know that it never goes with the past participle, it will always go with your helping verb. Then this was your first rule. What is your second rule? It is about the placement, okay, that is, it is not necessary, right, that we always use one pronoun per sentence, right? We can also have multiple pronouns in the same sentence. In case you have that where you're supposed to replace more than one noun, then you'll need to know this. Okay, that is, we need to know the order, as in which pronoun goes first. So first will be words like me, te, no, and wu. That is tonique. Words like me, no, wu go first. Then comes COD related ones. Okay, that is le, la, L apostrophe and les. Then we have COI. It's basically the order we've learned the pronouns in. That is Louis and leur. Okay, other part of COD and COI are already covered in the first one. Then Y, simple, and 5 is EN. Okay, this is basically the order that we've learned the pronouns in. So this was our part 3 of les pronoms personnels and we're finally done with it. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you.